Hello, I am Dr. Vikas Gore, gynecologist, fertility specialist and gynec laparoscopic surgeon, Nasik. Today, we will be discussing about the female infertility problems. In our last video, we have already discussed the problems of male infertility. Definition of infertility says that any couple who is practicing their sexual activity for the period of 1 year without using any contraceptive method and still they are not getting success in having a pregnancy is called as infertility. Proportion of infertility is like this: 30% of the problems are in female, 30% of the problems are in male, and 30% problems are mixed. And the other unexplained causes are also included in last 30%. When you want to start the treatment for any couple, we have to call male and female together, and male partner should be thoroughly investigated, and once his reports are normal, then the concentration are given over the female investigation. Before going to see what are the causes of female infertility, let us understand how the fertilization process starts or how the beginning of pregnancy starts. In any female, these are the female reproductive organ, and this is the uterus. These both are two fallopian tubes, and these are the two ovaries. And in any female who is having a 28-day cycle, there is a ovulation on 14th day, and if on that day the sexual activity of the couple happens, then there is a deposition of semen into the vagina, and in that semen, if the quality and quantity of the sperm is good, the actively motile sperm travel into the uterine cavity, then into the fallopian tubes, and here they meet with the ovum, and then the fertilization occurs into the tube, and this fertilized embryo then pushed into the uterine cavity, and here the implantation takes place, and then this implantation is the beginning of pregnancy. Any disturbance in the process of this fertilization or the implantation, then there is a problem of female infertility. Then what are the causes of female infertility? Anything which causes disturbance in the function of ovary, that is called as anovulation. What happens in anovulation? Either there is a formation of egg is hampered or release of egg is disturbed. So this problem is called as anovulation. In that anovulation, the egg is not liberated. So there are causes of hormonal imbalance which makes this happen. After this, anything which disturbs the tubal pattern or the tubal passage or the tubal architecture, then these causes can also lead to the female infertility. Then after tubal causes, anything which disturbs the uterine architecture or the uterine cervix architecture, which can be due to the fibroids, which can be due to the septum, which can be due to the adhesions, which can be due to the infection. So anything which alters the shape of the uterus or the uterine cavity may lead to the female infertility. Then there is something called as endometriosis. What happens in endometriosis? This endometrium, which is located inside the uterus, which goes and starts functioning outside the uterus, which disturbs the all organs outside the uterus, and in that ovaries are disturbed, tubes are disturbed, and there are lot many adhesions and cysts which disturbs the all functions of ovary, tubes and uterus. So that may lead to the infertility problem. Then there is some entity that there is called as diminished ovarian activity or primary ovarian failure. In that, what happens? The menstruation process or the ovulation function stops early before the age of 40. Those female also face the problem of infertility. Tests required for the female infertility are mainly, first thing is that you have to detect whether ovulation has occurred or not. So how you can test that? You have to test when the ovulation occurs on the 14th day, we have to test a day 21 progesterone level, and we have to do the ovulation study by sonography. in the sonography we see the corpus luteum, and that determines the ovulation has occurred, and the progesterone levels are, if at all they are adequate, that suggests there is a ovulation. If this doesn't happen, then that is called as anovulation, and then we have to see the causes of anovulation, and these causes are mainly a hormonal imbalance. So mainly FSH, LH, prolactin and thyroid are tested. If the FSH, LH ratio is disturbed and there is androgens levels are high, then that is called as polycystic ovarian disease, and that is the one of the most common cause of anovulation. Then there is some entity called as diminished ovarian reserve. So what are the tests which determines the ovarian reserve? These are the tests. First is sonography done on the day 2. That means on the second day of menstrual cycle, the sonography is done and antral follicle count is counted. At the same time, day 2 FSH levels are measured and AMH levels are measured. If the AMH is anti-Mullerian hormone. If the AMH level is less and this antral follicle count which is done on the second day of menses is less and FSH levels are high, then that indicates her ovarian reserve is less. Such female should be treated on a priority basis, or the emphasis of their urgency of the treatment is explained to the patient. After this, then there comes the role of tubal patency tests. These tests are done to see the patency of the both fallopian tubes. So the most commonly done test is hysterosalpingography, that is HSG. So what is HSG? In that we inject a dye from the cervix and we see the uterine cavity and these fallopian tubes. When the dye spillage is seen on the both sides on the X-ray, then these tubes are open. This HSG also indicates the architecture of the inner side of the uterus. So this is the test which is commonly done at the primary level to detect the patency of fallopian tube. Depending on the result of the blood test, hysterosalpingography result, and considering the age of the patient and the duration of fertility, we may have to switch over to the further investigation, and those investigations are hysteroscopy and laparoscopy. And what we do in hysteroscopy, we insert the 2.9 mm or the 4 mm endoscope and we look for the inner cavity of the uterus, that is endometrium. We may find some congenital anomalies, those are right from the birth, that is septum, or some uterine anomaly which can be detected by hysteroscopy. At the same time, we may see the fibroid or the polyp or the Asherman syndrome, in that the walls of the uterus are stuck together due to the infection. By the means of hysteroscopy, we also take the biopsy for ruling out the tuberculosis, which is the cause of infertility in some females. So we have to rule out the tuberculosis also. At the same time, what we do in the laparoscopy, we insert the laparoscope from the tummy and we see all the organs in the pelvis and which show the outside structure of the uterus, tubes and ovary, whether they are functioning properly, whether there is a spill of the dye from both sides that indicates the patency of the tube, whether there is any element of endometriosis, whether there is any element of tuberculosis. These all things are detected by the laparoscopy. So these both hysteroscopy and laparoscopy are the two main important investigation as far as the detecting the cause of female infertility. Treatment of the female infertility depends on three factors. Those factors are: first is cause of the infertility, then the duration of the infertility, then the age of the patient. So if we consider the first factor, that is the cause of the infertility, that then the anovulation, if the anovulation is the cause of the infertility, then we have to give some tablets or some injection which induces the ovulation. Those are called as ovulation induction drugs, which makes the follicles to ripe, and for rupture of the that follicle ovulation to occur, we have to give another injection that is called as trigger. This trigger makes the ovulation to occur. Then further, if the patient is having a tubal problem or tubal blockages, then we may have to do the tubal reconstructive surgeries, or if there is tubal blockage at the ostium, we can do the tubal cannulation surgery by the means of hysteroscopy. At the same time, with the help of laparoscope, we may have to switch over to the fertility enhancing surgeries, in that if there is an element of endometriosis or the adhesions, we release those adhesions and make the tubal and ovarian environment conducive for the fertility. So these are the few surgeries which are done in the treatment of female infertility. Then if the female is having a age 30 and her both tubes or single tube is open and her male factor is fairly good, then we may give them a trial of intrauterine insemination for 4 cycles, and in that they get a fairly good result. In some females who are elder than 30 years, their tubes are blocked, their male factor is very severe, means the sperm quality and quantity is very bad, then we may have to switch over to the in vitro fertilization or ICSI procedure, which is the further step than the intrauterine insemination. By adopting all these methods, patient can achieve their success if properly chosen. I want to tell here that as the female's age advances, the quantity and quality of egg decreases and her ovarian reserve decreases. So whenever any female wants to start her treatment, it should be started as early as possible before the age of 30. Few tips to remain away from the female infertility problems which may occur in future. So these tips are mainly to keep discipline in hygiene about their private parts, then keep by adopting a good sexual activity discipline which makes them less vulnerable for infection which occurring due to the bad hygiene and ultimately damaging their tubes. Then there is second thing which is most important is to avoid junk food and adopt a good dietary habits, do a good exercise, maintain good BMI and weight in a proper range, which makes them to avoid their anovulatory problem because of PCOD. Then the third thing is to avoid the toxins in the form of bad habits, which is to remain away from alcohol or smoking. If you adopt these few things, then you are less likely to face the problems of infertility. And one more tip for the all married couple is that you have to adopt a regular sexual activity and you have to keep proper knowledge about the sexual activity, which makes them to have a pregnancy chances more. So these are the few tips. If every couple follow, or if every patient follow, then they have got a more chances of having the pregnancy. This was the brief information about the female infertility problems, causes and their treatment. If you have any query on this problem of female infertility, don't hesitate to talk with us on phone. And thanks for watching our video. Thank you very much.